Good evening, crewmates. Captain Andy here. I think I should change that actually. Captain Andy here. Oh, hang on here. Yeah, I had to move myself there. Yeah, so Captain Andy here back again after a couple months off. I had to take a break. Things in life are happening, still happening. And I need to place my priorities straight. And even with that being slowly getting towards, I'm not sure where it's going towards, but I need to get back to to my life, to what I enjoy. Unfortunately, to get to that point, to this point here, I need to get more things around my life in order. But I'm here now. And I was planning on coming back next year, in the new year. But this events from this past week and weekend have probably actually within the last couple of months, but particularly this past weekend had brought me to where I'd like to stream again, a little bit earlier. What happened this past week, you might ask? Some that might be watching will know. I went to the latest iteration of KupoCon. For those that don't know, it's a more intimate gathering of a Comic-Con based on, well, I guess on the name, based towards the Final Fantasy series. Not that it's only a Final Fantasy series, but about 99% of it is. And this was the first time I went cosplaying to it in a long, long time. And I was in... The KupoCon was in Toronto this past year. You can check it out on KupoCon.com. They have event notes from previous KupoCons as well as the one that just occurred. And I was in Toronto as well to help out coworkers, staying the night. And that actually happened where happenstance that this past week. I was planning on going to KupoCon this past weekend as well. And I had a great time. I met some fantastic people, of who I will give a shout out in a moment. It was great. I met a lot of new people. Well, actually, they were pretty much all new people to me. Most of them because I went there solo this time. I went to a previous KupoCon in Montreal, which was fantastic. Went there with my good friend Lena, and if you heard previous streams or probably check out some of the previous videos, you will hear Lena's voice during many of my streams. Pretty much my best friend I met in the last little bit, yeah. Known Lena for, about a good, I'd like to say 2015, maybe a year earlier, give or take. Slowly, we were more like neighbors at first, and then he kind of took over our FC. More like, not kind of, he did. He's the leader of the FC. I'm just the old man that's still around. I'm from the original original group of people that's still around. So what happened this past weekend with the KupoCon? Actually, stuff happened the night before. And where a group of us got together, which was I'm not sure if it was host, but the person that put this together was another person that attended the KupoCon, and great. Had dinner at a place called Stormcrow, which is pretty much, for those that don't know about Toronto, or at least not about the restaurant, I didn't, was I guess still is a restaurant for geeks almost. Great styled menu choices. Drinks were good. Food was alright. At least the one I had was alright. Good in a way. Myself, I had something called Red Choco Booze, which is like an enhanced hot chocolate. I liked it. And from there, we went karaokeing, which I don't go out too often, especially with people I just met. But these were awesome people. You had to go with these people. And we had a blast. At least until they kicked us out. Even then, we had fun after that. More like we had our time spent at a certain hour. So, and following the next day with KupoCon, which I will get into. But before I do that, I want to give some shout-outs to some awesome new people that I've met. First and foremost, shout-out is going to go to KupoCon itself. From its not sure if it's leader, best word to use, but the guy who put this all together, Alex Main, as well as all of his staff, Mel's, and I can't remember the rest of the names, I'm so sorry. From the staff to the volunteers to the coordinators, they put on a great event. At least from the two I've been to, they've always done so. And based on KupoCon's, what I see on their posts from other events in the UK, most of their ones have been in the UK and Canada. I think they had an event in Newark and New Jersey, but that was before I knew what KupoCon existed. And along with that, as I mentioned, I made some great new friends. Now, I'm not going to give out their names, as I don't think it's probably to give people out their names, so I'll give you some aliases that we know of. Like myself, I say my name is Andy. That is an alias. What my real name is, some people know. My family knows, friends know. If we get to know each other, I'll probably give that out if you have not figured it out already. But first shout out I'm going to give, and I got to bring it up here so I don't get it wrong, is first the person that set up the evening for the dinner at Stormcrow and the karaoke the night before, and that would be Raciel. Great person. Loved her energy. And I thank you again for putting the event on the evening prior to KupoCon. It was a joy the entire evening, from the dinner to the karaoke afterwards, and as well as the time we spent together during the KupoCon afterwards. Oh, also, after the karaoke, we also went to a bar. I forget the name of the place. I think we tried to go to 2 or 3 different places, and they were closing at 11 o'clock on a Friday, which confused me a little bit to each their own. But we got a great chatter between people that I met there, whose names I can't remember them all, but the ones I do remember, I'll place here, and there'll be more shout-outs later on. Second shout-out would be to someone I met back in Montreal, Tamish. Brother, it was a pleasure to meet you in Montreal. Loved your cosplay. And thank you for bringing us around Toronto in the late evenings after the karaoke in Toronto. Loved your cosplay this year as well, and you're an awesome person to be with, man. And next person I'm going to give a shout out to would be, well, we got along quite well. I've been asked to, actually, I'm going to, yeah, this shout out is going to go towards his alias name of Jackie Knife. What that stands for? Same with me. Those who know. Shout out to Jackie Knife. And what was interesting about Jackie Knife was on our way. Yeah, it was on our way towards, from the pre-registration to the dinner. We were all taking a subway, which was fun with me because I've never been to a subway in Toronto before. So it was. I thank you everyone for bringing us there. And I was sitting with, or more like standing with, around with, Raciel, Jackie Knife, and one more. I can't remember. If I do remember the name, will be coming up in, should be the next person I give a shout out to. What got me and Jackie Knife going was we started talking about Final Fantasy. I think we were all talking about Final Fantasy, and I'm not sure how the conversation got to this point, but we're talking about some history of Final Fantasy lore, and because I'm a legacy player, I'm a 1.0 player. If you can look at the screen right, actually you can't see it on the screen right now. I'll show you later. I'm from 1.0. I'm a legacy player. I actually played for the beta for 1.0. Even older than that, I played for Final Fantasy 11. And essentially, once Jackie and I found this out, we had some exchanges, not just between me and him, but also with Raciel, Tamish, and others, who I will name. They were curious about how 1.0 was, like the story differences between a legacy player and someone that starts new. By saying new as in Reborn 8 years ago new, up to now. And what those story differences are, you will see, as I'm going to be going through the 1.0 story with my 1.0 character. What's interesting about this is that I've never completed the story with her. And that goes on to the discussion I'll get to in a few minutes. So putting things off to the side, going back to where I was going. You know, we had some great conversations throughout that night from what our each respective perspectives were towards the game. The differences between how it was in 1.0 to now. My own take on how I thought Paladin went from 1.0 down to where it is now towards Endwalker. And mainly because I played Paladin lots, and I wish I could give comments on other classes, but my main was Paladin, still is Paladin. I like getting punched in the face. But throughout this conversation between myself and Jackie Knife and my new friends is a nickname that I never thought that would come under me, which I accept graciously. And that they started calling me Legacy. More like Jackie Knife started calling me Legacy. And I thought it was funny at first, and kind of had a point. I'm an old man. If you look close, you'll see gray hairs coming to the side of me. Yeah. And no, it was great conversations with the entire weekend with him. From that evening to Saturday, and I don't think he met Sunday, so just Friday and Saturday. I had a great time. From beginning to end. And towards the end of the evening, as well as next day, I had my own little nickname for him. Sorry, Jackie Knife, but you started calling him Legacy. I started calling him Sprout. But no. He was an awesome character, and for someone who says they're an off thank you, sure put up your front and center for a lot of this. So I thank you again for your time and conversing with me of new and old things together. Next two people I'm going to give a shout out to is, one would be Ravi. She is someone I met during KupoCon that evening as well. She was the fourth person who I believe I was speaking with during the subway towards dinner. And you were a joy to communicate with, to talk with. Your cosplay was gorgeous. I know the cosplay you brought was not the one you originally wanted, but the cosplay that you went was the cosplay you went as was great. A lot of effort went into that, I can tell, and you just look fantastic. And I thank you for the conversations we had between the two of us. It was great to get to know you. In future KupoCons, I'd like to get you get in contact as well. Hopefully you get, if you're still working on the cosplay that you wanted, look forward to seeing how that looks. Lastly, the person I'm going to give a shout out to is someone who I had great times during the day of the Comic-Con, and that is, I didn't get his permission to get his name, nor did I get an alias, so the only other alias that I know him of is a cosplay that he went as, which was similar to my cosplay, Sid. Particularly Final Fantasy VII Sid, but Sid nonetheless. And we had some great memes, great times. We had the Spider-Man meme between myself, him, and another Sid where you all have to point towards like this, and Sid. And yeah. Sid, great to pleasure the namesake with you for this day, along with Sid, and the fifth Sid. And yeah. So, which brings us to the topic of today. I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy XIV with my 1.0 character, Clalin, and I'll bring her forward. Oh, and if anyone's wondering what I mean by Sid, which Sid I was playing, I'll show you right now. It would be the Sid from Final Fantasy. Sorry about that. Better if I stand up. Final Fantasy 11. Hope you can see this good. Oh yeah. Final Fantasy 11 Sid I found was, or Final Fantasy 11 cosplay I found was lacking to the KubaCon I went to, and from the people I spoke with at the KubaCon, I found that I did not see a lot of Final Fantasy 11 references. So I took it upon myself, but I want to just bring some 11 love out there, because I spent a lot of time in 11, the world of Vana'diel. My first choice was to go as Prince Theon of Sandoria. Unfortunately, I did not have the time to make the armor for him, because I think it was just more generic armor, but it still looked good on him, as well as the sword that he used. But unfortunately, I did not have time to make that. So I started thinking, what can I do to bring notice to 11 in some manner? And I went through the characters I knew, and one of the ones that was... He didn't have a lot of stories compared to previous Final Fantasies, but first, the only thing that came to my mind afterwards, after a lot of thinking, was Sid. And I looked online for images of Sid from 11, and as well as jumping back into 11 just to get a first-hand view. I thought I can make that. I can, or at least in this case, find the materials for that and go forward from there. What you see here with the apron and at the bottom here is the Bastok logo. I had to get someone to help me with this, and he did a fantastic job. Love this design. And the only thing different between that is that Sid had pockets at the top here, as well as a belt in between the pockets and the logo. I put together the pockets at the top using fabric glue, as I did not know how to sew stuff together, and it turned out pretty alright. I will have to redo this, maybe find a way to get rid of the coloration. And yeah, this was a great costume to wear, and I got a lot more attention than I thought I would. My intention was to go in and have a great time. No expectation whatsoever. If anything, just to bring notice to Final Fantasy XI. What I received was a lot more than what I expected, as in I had people sharing their... First, I was surprised some people recognized this as it is, as well as the character I was playing as I was not sure how many people played the Final Fantasy XI. I assume not as much, because I'll be honest, being realistic, is that a lot of the current Final Fantasies are fantastic, from 14 to 16, and they're all great. And I know 11 is dated. It came out about 21 years ago, and it's still going strong for some people. And I know there was a private server named Horizon that was released recently. And for those that are playing, I hope you're having fun. I still play the retail version. Whichever version, I hope you're having fun with that. But I figured, let's play as Sid. Get Sid going. It seems something I could do. The only thing different with this and Sid's costume is Sid's apron is a dark navy blue. I had trouble finding a dark navy blue apron where I'd be able to put the logo at the bottom. So I went with black with the backup idea of wearing this blue shirt in the background to represent the color of Bastok, blue. And for the simple fact, in 11, Sid only wears an apron and pants and gloves and boots. I don't think Sid's ever come to Canada in December, but if anyone wants to walk outside in just an apron in December, you're more than welcome. Sid can come do that himself. This I can do at this point here, though. And I need to take this off for a quick moment. Since this is how it looked quite a bit, not sure how well it looks if I stand up. Get off of there, you. And what worked well with this also is the gloves. Sid in 11 had huge... They're welding gloves. He was a blacksmith, master blacksmith. Large gloves that went past the elbow. And it took me a while to find a good pair of these. And this is what I eventually found, which pretty much the longest pair of gloves I've ever seen and worn. And there we go. Oh, my hand's gonna smell like bacon for a while. It has a strong leathery smell still. It's newish. Yeah, long gloves all the way from here to here. So this is Sid. And along with this, I also had to get some slacks. I don't wear slacks. I've not worn slacks in a long time. That took a little while to get used to. And let me get this apron off. Sid also had these Renaissance style boots. Unfortunately, I cannot afford those, nor can I make them myself quickly. So I looked around for something I can go around the problem. Found these neat leg straps, boot straps, which pretty much gave the impression of what Sid was wearing. Didn't think Sid wore something a little bit darker, but these ran around my legs and around my shoes, boots. And these are okay. I like these. The only thing I was actually surprised with these, and when I put them on first thing in the morning, they're fine. They're light. They're easy to carry around. And when I put them on, once I got my groove, it was easy to put on and off. That wasn't until after wearing them for 10 to 11 hours, after standing all that time too. They always get heavy towards the end. Or just my legs were not used to it. And like I say, I had fun at the ScubaCon. And if I'm wearing Sid's outfit in the stories I was able to share with other attendees, there was one person in particular who I was able to find, and I thank them a lot for what they've done. Is throughout the ScubaCon, you were given 2 Masquerade tokens to give towards a cosplayer of your choice, who you thought was the best. I gave one to someone that was dressed as Kefka. They were fantastic. From head to toe, it was Kefka-esque. The other person I gave mine to was this one person that gave me a Masquerade token It was a Masquerade token that I got from them. It was the first Masquerade token I got. As I mentioned before, I went dressing up as Sid just to give some 11 love and see what happened, and made good friends from that. Share good stories. One person in particular, though, that caught me off guard, that actually made the day for me for that, is someone who was dressed as a red mage, Final Fantasy XIV red mage, came up to me and she presented me with one of her 2 Masquerade tokens, because I came dressed as Sid, as she had an absolute love towards Final Fantasy XI, which I can completely understand, and I love 11 as well myself. But it just floored me in a good way, where of everyone that was there, of all the fantastic, well-made costumes, designs, that one of the 2 people that she chose to give their tokens to was myself, dressed as Sid. And I said it within the ScubaCon Discord. I said it to the person in person once I was able to locate her, and I'll say it again here. I thank you for giving one of your tokens to me. That actually meant a lot. Was not expected, but truly, truly appreciate it. And I do thank you very much. This may be cliche, but I do treasure that, and I will continue to treasure that. And as per our conversation before, I would love to continue sharing Final Fantasy XI experiences and stories with you moving forward. In answer to a recent question, inquiry as for which elemental staffs to use, would that be normal or high quality? There's also 8 to choose from. Red Mage can use all of them. There'll be more to talk about what occurred here, but this is one of the main things I want to get off from the beginning aspect, is just to thank everyone for the great time that you've had, that you've shared. Hopefully I helped you enjoy your weekend. And I've spoken quite a bit here for around 20-some minutes. And before I go off playing Final Fantasy XIV, one of the inquiries that Jack and I've had is how the intro was different between Final Fantasy XIV's 1.0 and current players from Reborn to now. I mentioned to him that the intro was still the same, where myself, I'm from Ul'dah, Paladin, Gladiator. By the way, spoilers! Spoilers! Actually, I can't say really much spoilers, because 1.0 is gone. At least the physical copy. I'm sure there's private service. Anyways, I scoured the interwebs and I found a person who had a YouTube, and I found a video where it showed the 1.0 intro for Ul'dah. It was a Mikote, much like my Clalin is, and I'll show the intro. There's going to be more videos shown later on, and I'll show you the intro from 1.0, then I'll jump into Final Fantasy XIV with my 1.0 character. So, right here. Let's see if I can bring that up. Oh, that's why. Hang on, folks. Well, that's why it's dark. I didn't play it yet. Will this show? It ain't showing. Why is it not showing? Oh, it was working earlier today. There it is. Alright, so this is 1.0. This was the intro for 1.0 players who started in Ul'dah, whether that be Paladin, Monk, that would be Gladiator, Pugilist, or Thermagage. This lasts around, let's show 0, around 11 minutes, and well, let's watch. Some things you might recognize, some you won't. Still starting the carrots like we do now. The Brendan person's not with you though.
Nothing like the feel of Ul'dah's sand.
Except for Ul'dah's wine in your belly.
I'll buy you anything you want.
Yeah, I forgot they had voice acting in the intro too. I know they had voice acting in the drum, but I forgot the intros they had it. They had back then.
Hear, feel, think.
This looks familiar, doesn't it?
Look, Father! Fireworks!
This was the original Clalin music. Ul'dah music. Daytime music, I believe.
And where in this marvel of a city might you lovely ladies be staying?
And running, yes, that was Dad Cred.
I've never seen one up close. It's enormous.
See what that one got, please.
Some of this music is still playing nowadays, actually. Like this right here, for your special events. I think that was
Come and get
the
your
same.
flowers.
No, not the same garbage.
Flowers for all! Enjoy the festivities!
What kept you? The parade is about to begin. Make ready. Now.
You got it, boss. Leave it to me. I won't let nothing go wrong.
Take it as a precaution.
Oh,
Let us go.
I like how he just able to put that flower right into his pocket with ease, or right through his shirt. Wait, that Mikote's right here?
For me? Really?
Actually, these
Thank
two people
you,
are in
pretty
the main
auntie.
story.
Now be a sweetling and
Nowadays,
make sure
too.
everybody gets one, all right? I will.
Anyone know who that little girl is?
the famed songstress of Ulda. So flowers do grow in the desert.
This was the original graphics engine that 14 had, which I'll admit did make the game look great, but it was also its own Achilles heel, where it was its main downfall, one of its main downfalls.
This isn't right. Lamine, are you hurt?
Theo, look out!
Over here!
Yards, I hope I live to regret this.
Now, this is only a cutscene, but this is actually the first fight in the game to get you accustomed to the game, which they will not show you. This is for cutscene purposes only.
Damn thing seemed rather taken with me. Any idea why that might be?
And now our guest requests an encore. Come on!
Let's go.
You all right, boss? What did I miss?
Rampaging boo-boo. You steal the back for my own 14 characters. Chant. And from here, it starts to go into cutscenes. The rest of the cutscenes are mostly all text. 1.0 did not have a lot of voice acting, although it could be a little bit wrong. They had areas where there was voice acting. Some appropriate, some I was confused on why there was there. But they did have some. I will have to look at that myself later and just be in awe of it. Later on, as the story progressed, the Garlean Empire slowly became more interested in taking over Eorzea. The Grand Companies were eventually brought to fruition, where, much like the current Realm Reborn, you get to choose which Grand Company you want to be in. Myself, Clalin, I chose out of the Flames. I liked Ul'dah. I loved Ul'dah back then. I still loved Ul'dah. I love Ul'dah. I thought it was a great fit for my character, and mostly because back then Ul'dah was the center of the world, as in that's where they were called the Circle of Knowing then, or the Path of the 12, which merged together to become the Signs of the Seventh Dawn, and their headquarters was in Ul'dah, so it makes sense everything be based in Ul'dah. And you do missions here and there. Every major patch had a new mission coming out, pretty much. There were not a lot of dungeons then. It wasn't until patch, I think, 1.19. I have to look that up. Where they brought out a couple dungeons. One was 1,000 Maws of Totorak, which originally had 3 different endings, 3 different end bosses, and 3 different conditions to get those respective bosses, and slightly different rewards for them as well. There was Cutter's Cry. That used to be an 8-man dungeon where you had to be split up into 2 different groups, usually 4 and 4, where mods on both, you had to have communication between both parties. That the last mod between both had to be killed at the same time, or else you have to restart everyone from that in those respective floors. But the bosses were the same, albeit a little bit harder, maybe because the interface was different then. Orm Vale was also part of 1.0, which was different than what it is now. People now they have the yellow puddles of, I think they want to call it like poison. They had that in 1.0, but it was not just in a liquid form, but it was also a gaseous form, as in it was poison all around you. You walk in there, you're poisoned until you find a safe spot. So you have to find, and it was a bigger maze. And the bosses were the same, albeit a little bit different or difficult. You have to be conscious of what the text said on what moves you're doing, such as the swing, as opposed to just seeing the bar next to such as coin catcher's name. It was a tough dungeon then. Think it was tough. Think it's tough now. I should have done it 1.0. And along with that, they also had they had another dungeon that you won't see in this game called Castrum Novum, which has been changed to the Castrum that's in Mordorn. I forget the name. Castrum Sentry. I'll check it out when I'm in there. And they also had their own primal fights. They had Ifrit Hard, and Ifrit Extreme. Extreme was used for the relic weapon, which I did not do in 1.0. Garuda and Garuda Hard. They wanted to have Titan, but around the same time that's when they had the massive earthquake around close to Japan, which caused a huge tsunami which devastated many areas of Japan. And they thought it would not be proper to it would not be proper to have Titan after everything that's happened. So Titan was not there, but instead they gave us the Mughals, which were different in 1.0. The Mughals were huge, and they got even bigger when the Mughals increased their size. And you also had our own version of our own trial, which has not been recreated in in the new version yet, which is the fight against Van Darnus, which was a 2-part fight. First it was against Neil Van Darnus, then again after that it was against Neil Deuce Darnus. As in, he was enthralled by Bahamut after he lost the first time, and you had to fight him as the thrall version of Van Darnus, which he was difficult. It took my Link Shell 3 days to beat him. And you only need one tank back then, but he hit like a truck. And the way how my Link Shell finally figured it out, or FC nowadays, is tank, obviously. 1 melee DPS, 2 black mages, 2 white mages, and 2 bards. The bards mage battle was used to help recover MP for the other players. With tank being the tank, tanking one specific area and don't move. DPS to stand behind him and hit him. And whenever he'd disappear, the melee DPS would go with the rest of the party. And the tank would more, like, see, I tank here. I was here. Van Darnus was here. He would teleport way back here with the rest of the party here. The reason why he teleported here, he cast this line AoE that did massive damage to everything in front of him, as well as a cone right behind him. I had to go from here, this way, just to dodge it, and then go back to that exact same spot, while the melee DPS had to go with the party, and back again to avoid that damage. Some strategies people use were just let the tank get hit, so he stays in the same spot and just heal the tank. As for the rest of the party, there was, throughout the entire encounter, from the first and second part, Van Darnus would summon these comets that would come from down, would just hit the ground. The reason why he did that is if 3 of those comets hit the ground, later on in the fight he uses Mega Flare. Spoilers on, I think I would throw out Bahamut. And if 3 hit the ground, it'd be KO for everyone. So what we planned for that was a black mage. During the battle, there was a 3-tiered. Ground level where he fought, second level, and the top floor. The one black mage was designated to go up to one of these platforms and just destroy these comets before they hit the floor. And that's how it went, just going on, just being this guy, being Van Darnus, until he eventually teleported to the uppermost area of the map. During that time frame, the paladin, a tank, and melee DPS had to go and fight him because he never fought back at the top. He was preparing to summon Mega Flare. The others had another important role where they all had to go to the second level and destroy these comets, because while he was preparing Mega Flare, he was also summoning comet after comet after comet after comet. And one black mage would not have been enough. So, and to get a good cover of the entire field, one black mage, one white mage, one bard on one side and one on the other side. For that much, there's actually, for the 3 levels, there's 2 different staircases that went to the top. This way, each had a bard, and they can each cast magic or shoot arrows to destroy these comets. The other reason why we needed to have a bard and black mage is because while Darnus is at the top, these comets are coming down. He also summons 2 golems at the bottom, which will go up the stairs and just smack whoever's around. Pretty much would kill mages. The strategy we used was to have black mage and the bard alternate sleeps on these golems. They have like a dark-based sleep and a light-based sleep. And this continued on until the paladin and the melee DPS were able to get Van Darnus's HP down to a level where he'll be forced to cast Mega Flare. And if there's less than 3 comets on the ground, then everyone survived. And after that, it's just a matter of going back down, rinse and repeat the previous forms, pattern, and go at it. It was a hard fight. And after that, you have to go praying around the realm, and which eventually led to everyone, the 7th Legion of Garlean, against the Grand Companies and the Adventurers, battling out in Mordona, until Dynamite came down. Oh, and you couldn't hide in the cities when you were fighting as well, because during this time frame, the developers decided to attack the cities with chimeras, ghosts of Van Darnus. So if you want to hide, you have to hide in your inn. in your mind. Anyways. And from there led to the cinematic of the end of the world, which I'm pretty sure many of us saw, where Bahamut absolutely destroys the world. And he teleports the Warriors of Light away to help him. In case like me, teleport you 5 years into the future. As for those who played after 1.0 was out, I don't know where they are. Which brings us now to what we're going to do now, which was the intention of this entire stream at one point, just to bring over 1.0 character towards the story. Clalin. Clalin has not finished AR yet. She's barely... she finished the first main part of the story, beating La Habrea. I never continued with her because my friend I played 2.0 with decided to change servers due to other reasons, and I wanted to play with my friends. That meant I had to move to another server. I was not able to transfer servers because Clalin was originally from Excalibur. You can tell now that she's on... Actually, can you tell from here? You can. She's now on Lamia, but for the first 6 months to help player balance between the worlds, legacy players were stuck within their own respective servers. So, I started anew as Endine, who is now my main. But I always had this desire of wanting to bring Clalin through the story, to see the story through her eyes, to at least bring her journey to fruition. And so I'll try to do this once a week, just jump onto Clalin to go through the story. And let's go. And you can see at the bottom right hand side, it showed like a little legacy marker there, which indicates that it is the legacy character. Well, hang on, let me just switch here. Live. And in case you're wondering, yes, Clalin is level 90. I did not use a jump potion. I legitimately leveled her up to 90. But through a different means. I did PvP. Again, and again, and again, and again. First, I did that for fun, just to get her items from the PvP market. Which then led on to, once you get hit level 70, 80, 75, 80, like, hey, what happens if I bring her to level 90? And, well, I brought her to level 90, and here she is. Level 90, not done AR. Had a friend of mine, Lena, very best friend, help craft this gear for Clalin. So she can technically go through 1.0 without worrying. And for those that are wondering, for extra proof of a 1.0 character, my inventory's full, sorry. Shields in the way. Here. There is the tattoo to show it. Not very helpful to look at this way. Fortunately, I'm having trouble finding tank gear that accommodates to be able to see that. So until then, she'll just have to look cool like this. So before I'm going to do New Game Plus, but prior to doing so, for those that are interested in how 1.0 characters come into the game, you seen the video where we came in a carriage, much like players do nowadays. You come in on a carriage or a choco carriage. For those that seen the end of an era, the end of 1.0, you saw that the characters got teleported out. Safety. And, well, I'll show you exactly how that looks like in here. If I'm going to do this as well, I need to do this properly. Do I have my gear? I do not. Now, when I came in here, I got my relic weapons, my artifact gear, my relic gear before the end of it. So that was kind of cool to get, and it's what I wore. Here. I'll put these away for now. The accessories I'm not really worried about. Do I have my weapon? There it is. A cobalt winglet. And where's my other shield? Now, towards the end, I had a very specific set of gear. Where is it? Alright, I'll find it in a moment. Clalin's name was originally Andine, by the way. That's why it shows 2 different names. That's why it shows Clalin as a retainer. I had Clalin's name as my retainer. Clalin's also my character's name from Final Fantasy XI, where this character design is based off of. In order to help entice 11 players to jump ship to 14, they didn't want to, again, for player balance, they did not want to give 11 players an added advantage to anyone else that was new. But they also want to give the 1.0 characters an incentive to jump ship. That incentive was, one, to keep the same name, and this case Clalin, or it was Andine, with the last name being the name of the server you're from. Clalin's server was Seraph, but eventually I put it to. And you also keep the same appearance as your 11 character, so looks like you're just waking up in a new world, so to speak. Okay. I'm a pack rat. Yeah, I'm keeping a lot of items. So I got all my jobs level 60 or higher, except for the items you can get in Ishgard, Dark Knight, Machinist, and Astrologian. And some items I'm just keeping because they look cool. Okay, what I'm looking for is not here. Oh, this is cool. This is from 1.0. Red onion hat. I think you can get it nowadays too. It's just a lot harder. I got that from Ormvale. Don't remember how I got that from. Must have been a drop somewhere. Just can't remember. Here, I'll put these on just for the sake of the cutscenes. Then I'm going to toss them right back. These items are all from 1.0, by the way. They're the exact same design as now, but I still kept them. .0 Paladin. I never got the relic sword because one, didn't have time, and two, I like this sword. The design was kind of cool, but as you can see, it has a cracked materia 4 on it. 1.0, I did good making money with crafting, and I know I started a lot to, when I first started tanking, I had a lot to learn, but I still want the man to keep aggro. But they had a materia back then where it increased your enmity. So that's what I put on my weapon. Enmity plus materia, a grade 4, which was the highest back then, just to make sure I never lost enmity, aggro, until I died. Alright. Now, if you ever want to watch your intro, you have to intro for when you got into the game. You actually have to go into a side quest, select your nation, in this case Ul'dah. Coming to Ul'dah. I'll jump into New Game Plus after this. This is the same as everybody else. You start here. It's like the second time she hears this.
Hear. Feel.
Oh no!
Hear. Feel. Think.
All right, this next cutscene or two that I think you'll notice a difference. Anytime you guys see a difference, by all means, put in the chat. I'll be interested to hear your takes on this. But sorry about that. God dang it. The video from Earth 1.0 comes at the thanks that Dread kicks it out for giving us for letting us watch this video to show us the 1.0 intro of Final Fantasy 14. All right, let's play cutscene number 2. I do apologize for this for taking a while to jump into the story for 1.0. Actually, this is part of the story. Yeah, here's where it gets different. Where everyone else comes in on a carriage, she gets here a little different. I love this intro. One thing I noticed about Clalin, maybe because Mikate, but she has a hard time smiling. You know, when she does, it's creepy at times. Alright. And this is another part that's different as well from what I noticed between my two characters.
At the Battle of Carteneau, as fire rained down from the heavens, Archon Louis Soir invoked the power of the Keeper and sent his fellow heroes into an ethereal rift beyond the reach of the devastation. 5 years since that fateful day, since the 7th Umbral Era changed the world forever. The time has come for the heroes to return.
Well, everyone else in 2.0 got to get a carriage into here. She had to walk. And I'm pretty sure for the other nations, they have to walk too.
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises. A solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance, her name, Ul'dah. Even with the coming of the 7th Umbral Era, hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Nold Thal maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival could mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity for the realm. May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all. For by fire are we reborn.
Anyway, the soul walk to the respective cities can also mean that she's just checking the surroundings, how much has changed in the 5 years between this glorious battle against a glorious losing battle against, well, I guess it was on par battle against the Garleans, and then Bahamut just destroying everything to come back and just see what's things that are the same but different. Alright. Time to put on my real gear. Alright. Let's put this stuff back in here. This mobility. Alright. New game plus. So let's get this started. Yeah, she hasn't done a lot. One cool thing to note. The Paladin story for Gladiator and Paladin is almost the exact carbon copy as 1.0. A couple changes here and there, minor ones. The major one that would have been changed was the last quest. That was changed. I guess that was just to make things a bit easier. Alright, new game. Realm Reborn. Realm Reborn Part 1. Eorzea. A realm embraced by gods and forged by heroes. It is here that one adventurer's journey begins. Though power, fame, and fortune all beckon, this intrepid soul is destined for greater things still. Guided by the Mother Crystal, they will walk the path of a hero, of a warrior of light. Again. Or still is. One question that was asked this past weekend was, do the characters, NPCs remember you? All I can say for that is, watch and see. I know some. One thing I will say is that they did a good job, an extremely good job of bringing 1.0 and new players together without changing the story too much, but also giving that tidbit or two to let 1.0 characters know that we thank them. We know you. You helped us. This is our way of thanking you. You have a slightly altered story. Well, youngling, how are you feeling? How are you finding our fine Ul'dah then? Got your bearings about you yet? If so, mayhap it's time you ventured beyond the city walls. The bustling streets of Ul'dah are one thing, but the wilds of Clalin, that's another altogether. I know a bloke you might fancy you might fancy speaking to, and he you. Name of Papashan. You'll find him over at the Ul'dah dispatch yard. No doubt he'll have some work for you. Dispatch yard over in central Clalin. Just head out the door across the hall, and you'll see the gate of Nald standing right before you. Pass through it and head east. You come upon it before long. There's dangers beyond the wall, though. More than I'd care to count. Nothing too terrible, mind you, but feisty enough to attack if you draw near. Don't say nobody cared enough to warn you. Okay, one thing that's missing here, which I want to show you guys. To answer that question as how people, if they remember you, I thought, well, not, I thought you'd see it here, but apparently not. All right, let's just stop this for now. Suspend, yes. It should be the Momody one. Here it is. How people remember you. Why, hello there. Who might you be? There you go. My name's Momody, and pardon me, have we met before? There's something awfully familiar about you. I don't know if it's the calamity or just the march of the bleeding years, but I'm finding it harder and harder to keep track of all the names and faces. Anyway, forget I mentioned it. I dare say I will. Ahem. Name's Momody, and I own this fine establishment, if it pleases you. I also manage the Adventurers Guild here in Ul'dah. You might say that looking after green adventurers like yourself is my vocation. And lucky for you, that is. Without someone like me to steer you right, you'd soon find yourself in the middle of nowhere, caught up in business you don't understand. Like our conflict with the Amal Shah, for example. They've been plaguing the Sultanate for forever now. Then there's the Garland Empire. None can say for sure what they're plotting these days, only that they are. Aye, the people drink and make merry, but underneath it all, there's worry. Worry and a lingering feeling of loss. And little wonder, it's scarce been 5 years since the lesser moon cracked open like a giant egg, releasing an abomination intent on turning the realm into an eighth hell. So much was lost in the blink of an eye. It was like the end of the world had come at last. But then things begin to get foggy. Everyone's got their own version of what happened next. Some of them 2 or 3. You'd think people would remember something like that, but the fact is, they don't. Nobody does. Just like no one remembers me. You? There's one thing the survivors agree on, though. The part played by a band of adventurers who laid down their lives for a realm that wasn't their own. They fought valiantly, and like so many others, they never returned. Deeds worth remembering, I'm sure you'll agree. It's just a shame our recollections of those brave souls are as jumbled as those of the calamity itself. Whenever we try to call their faces to mind, it's like they're standing between us and the midday sun, permanently silhouetted. But that sounded poetic to you, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's bloody infuriating. Even if we can't remember them, we'll not let them be forgotten, or so we call them the Warriors of Light. And they'll forever stand as a shining example of what adventurers can achieve. That's why I welcome new arrivals like yourself to our fair city. All I ask is that you lend a helping hand and to leave Ul'dah in a better state than you found her. If you can promise that, I'd be happy to let you join the guild. Yeah, she said this before to her. Alright then, a promise is a promise now. I'm counting on your help to put the past behind us. We need people working and spending and bickering like the old days. And a happy and prosperous Ul'dah means more business for the quicksand too. Any road, let's make this official. Go ahead and write your name in the register, neat as you can. My name's already on there. Clalin Seraph. Well, ain't that a charming name? Just rolls off the tongue, it does. Alright, Miss Seraph, on behalf of the Adventurers Guild, I officially... Please, be merciful. 12 is my witness. I swear to you, I'll bring you your money. In the East, it is said that even a merciful god might be driven to vengeance if thrice blasphemed. Be grateful that you're given the forced chance to offend. You two, attend to the scum. Please, mercy. Ain't that a sorry sight? Not an uncommon one. If I'm honest. Don't worry though. If you work hard, I doubt you'll end up like him. Just the same, if you're in need of a bit of advice about one thing or another, pay me a visit. Just don't go bother me every time you stub your bloody toe, alright? Of course, I do enjoy hearing the lady muse on the many manhoods of her acquaintance from time to time. Any road, welcome to Ul'dah. Take a moment to catch your breath, and I'll teach you a little about our fair city. Alright, let's go back to where we started. That's what I mean, like she remembers you. So you look familiar, but she can't she can't place you. At least not yet. Spoiler. Yeah, thank you, Elena, again for making this gear for Clalin. Well, I got all the materials. Linda made them. Now here's a cool part between 1.0 and this. 1.0, this was not open. How I used to get outside is it would, in a way, yeah, that one door is not open. What you have to do, you go here. Where are you? Walk through this door here. Take a right. Then you can walk all the way down to the exit. And once you get to the equivalent of here, you take a left and you walk out to Ul'dah. Clalin, that is. Yeah, you can actually see the old gates right here for that side. There as well. As with back there, the same thing was true for over here. There it is. Go through there. Take it out. Also, Ul'dah was one zone before. Not separated to two, but it's better now. It stays on computer requirements. Yeah, here, better look. There's a gate there. A gate there. No longer in use. Why is there no sound? Oh well. Also, 1.0, we had no such thing as chocobos. Not for a while. The reason they gave was that they were part of a pandemic and they were sick. So you had to learn how to walk. And the zone was much bigger than this. All of Clalin was one zone, just like all of the Shroud was one zone. Not the most pleasurable of times. Well, you certainly look the part of adventurer, my friend. Might you be the good soul Momody advised me to expect? I am Papa Sean, station master of the humble dispatch yard. An empty title, I assure you. I'm no more than a tired old lullaby passing its final years in quiet and solitude. 12 know there have been plenty of both these past 5 years since the calamity struck. The devastation was vast. Yet now true old Dons work together, doing all in their power to rebuild what was laid to ruin. By the sweat of our brows and the love of our home, we have rebuilt Ul'dah to the grandeur and majesty that you see today. The railroads which run through this dispatch yard too were born of the noble efforts of a grand many souls. But there's still much work to be done. The wounds left by the calamity run deep. Isolated areas beyond our lines of supply remain, and there are places yet wanting of relief and restoration. Ul'dah needs the aid of you and your brethren, friend. In fact, never has our need been more dire. Which brings me to the point, I suppose. I do believe I may have some work suited to one of your ability. Ooh, completed! Here. Since you've come all this way, perhaps you can perform an errand for me. It just so happens a number of sentries have been sent to guard the area. A dispatch to the dispatch yard, as it were. They have long been away from the shade and feather beds of the city. The hot days and cold nights can play hells on the mind and body out here. It isn't much, but go and give them these twilight pretzels, would you? I find comfort food always helps when I feel like killing myself. Yeesh. Ooh, Death Storm's nice. Halt! Madam, I'm gonna have to ask you to put that pretzel on the ground and place your hands above your head. State your name and business. A twilight pretzel from Papa Sean? By the gods forgive me, you could see this new post has my nerves in a twist. I'm terribly sorry for that. Yes, well, you may rest assured that the dispatch yard is safe so long as I stand watch. Please give Papa Sean my thanks and tell him I wish I could repay the favor. Also, in 1.0, you cannot jump. There's music. "12 save me, scorching days, freezing nights. This post will be the end of me." Sultan Sworn, have a pretzel. A twilight pretzel? Don't mind if I do. Ah, now that's a refreshing god's damn pretzel. I feel reborn. I'm only going to play this to around 10 p.m. tonight, Eastern. In future streams, I talked a lot today. I do apologize for how long I took to talk. I want to give those shout outs to my friends, new friends that I've met, and hopefully we'll continue to have good conversations and moving forward. Western Front clear. Eastern Front clear. Have a pretzel. We're here. For me, from Papa Sean, a twilight pretzel, my favorite. How did he know? Can't fight on an empty stomach now, can I? Actually, I can't fight on any stomach. I suppose you can say I have no stomach for fighting. Huh? So far with Clalin, I've go with this. You returned, and with a deal fewer pretzels. I see. Tell me, how far are Sultan Sworn sentries? Did they have anything to report? Anything at all? What? Nothing? Are you sure? Oh dear. Take this for your troubles then, and stay a moment. There is more I would ask of you. Clalin, I have just this moment. No, not the time. No, the time for concealment is past. The truth is, even before I had you deliver those pretzels, I was privy to this some unsettling news. Which is the real reason I sent you to meet those Sultan Sworn. A young noblewoman from a very prestigious family has run away from home, and I have been ordered to see her to her safe return. The Sultan Sworn you met earlier are assisting with the search. Alas, it seems they have found no trace of her. I apologize for being frank with you from the start, but we must proceed with caution. Should word of her appearance spread, I fear others with less honorable motives may join the hunt. And should we allow her to come to any harm, not even 100 beheadings would be punishment enough. That cannot happen, Clalin. It must not. I need you to help me find her. Of course. Praise the 12. I knew I can count on you. I have instructed the others to expand the search, but the island is vast, and there are only so many of us. The young noblewoman's name is Lady Lilira. I want you to go south and look for her in the vicinity of the Sultan Tree. Good luck. One thing I've done with Clalin previously is I want to try and get as much story as I can with her, which included getting all of the relic weapons done. Yes, all of them. I got all of them done to rank 6. I tried to continue forward, but I got blocked by the most interesting of reasons. Storyline. I have to do one of the side quests is I have to go through Snowcloak to get a key items from there. The only way to unlock Snowcloak is through the story. Which is what I need to do now. Yeah. Oh, the good news, I got all the books done. I got most of the tougher parts done. Oh, Sultan Tree. You're about to enter an instance battle. Instance battles only occur during certain quests and missions. Take a moment to read the information displayed in the active help window before entering the call of duty. Proceed. If I die, I die.
Oh, Sultan Tree, hallowed spirit of my line, forgive my weakness. My failings have cost us dear. Show yourself.
As you command, O Lilira. Forgive my selfish desire to assure your welfare.
I don't recall requesting an escort. Simply pretend we never met and continue on your way.
We both know I can do no such thing. It isn't safe for you here alone. It isn't safe for anyone. Not with this etheric disturbance. It's as though the dead are watching us. And I'd prefer not to join them, if it's all the same to you. Ah, you must be the one the Papa Shan mentioned. Congratulations on finding our elusive young charge. How peculiar. I could swear we've met, but haven't the faintest recollection as to where or when.
There we go. He remembered again what I said with Momody. Like you said, he recognizes me but can't remember me. Or when or where.
Must be the damned heat playing tricks on me. I best retire before I start having visions. You should return with us.
The station master will be eager to thank Lady Lilira's protector in person.
Hey, for those that are watching, thank you for,
Alas, the
or just
station
joining, thank you for
master will have
joining.
to wait. Dear Lilira, for my sake, please stay out of harm's way. As for you, dear friend, for Lilira's sake, please stay in harm's way.
Ah, no heal. Oh, I don't have healing anyways. Flash! He used flash! We don't have that nowadays. See, in 1.0, even start at 2.0. Paladins, gliders use daggers, and with the daggers, see, able to use sword skills with daggers. Looks like it's still the case here. Sword Oath? What? Oh yeah! Sword Oath used to be a thing back then, just for as a little move paladins could use. Bridge of Alone. Duty complete. Yeah, he did. He did.
Whew.
A crystal.
Hear, feel, think. Crystal Bearer. I am Heidelin, all made one. A light there once was, shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them. By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart. Shine thy light on all creation.
I'm taking a nap.
Ah, coming around now.
Would you mind telling me what that was?
If I only knew. A denizen of the void at any rate.
The void sent? Here? But how?
The question isn't how, but who. We're not dealing with bookless bandits. Don't suppose the answer came to you in a dream? No sooner did you fell the beast than you fell asleep. Too much ether, no doubt. Interesting. I hadn't considered the crystal. But of course, this changes everything. Oh, just thinking aloud? At any rate, we haven't a moment to spare. I must return and report this at once.
At once.
I leave Lady Lilira in your capable hands.
How dare you pass me about like a swaddled babe? I shall return and tell them myself.
As you wish, your impetuousness. I suspect we shall meet again before long. Until then, do try and stay awake.
Yeah, so as mentioned, most of the stories are going to be same as 2.0, and beyond, with little tidbits of changes here and there. And I'm actually curious about those small changes later on. Like, I've done all the way up to after La Habrea. I did the Bahamut storyline, which does have a couple of different lines. Thank the gods you've returned. You've had us all so worried. You do realize what happened if a person of your normal stature were to be injured, or worse. Why, Her Grace the Sultana would be beside herself with grief, and so would her subjects. I dare say they'd be weeping in the streets. But I've already given you cause to weep, Papa Sean. You and the people of Ul'dah. Please, do not say such things. We will find it, I swear to you. It's not my place to make demands, my lady, but I beg you, please stay out of harm's way. I apologize for causing you undue harm, Papa Sean. I shall refrain from traveling unescorted in the future. Thank you enough, Clalin. I understand you fought bravely to protect Lady Lyra from void-sent fiends. For your gallant service, you deserve all the riches in the royal vault. Alas, a small token of my gratitude is the best I can offer. Shocking. A sarcastic man with a strange contraption strapped to his shoulder. I see you met Thancred. He's a scholar who spends his days investigating oddities in the ether. Rather too fond of the sound of his own voice for my liking, but perfectly harmless. As for you, Clalin, you're just the sort of adventurer we need around here. I pray you show the same kindness to the people of the island as you did to us today. You're an adventurer, yes? If you're not otherwise occupied, I have a favor to ask you. I have resolved to repay a debt of gratitude which I owe to the owner of the coffer and coffin. For this purpose, I purchased from the royal plantation a prodigiously plump pumpkin, a particular popular piece of produce. But alas, I cannot part this place to procure and profit the pumpkin. You see, the scheduled shipment from the Nanawawa, for which I await, is late. Would I prevail upon you to pick up the pumpkin in my stead and see it safely to the coffer and coffin? Present this receipt of purchase to Gegari at the royal plantations, and she will yield it to you. I apologize for asking you to attend to this time-consuming task, but I truly appreciate your assistance. If this idiot doesn't come along soon, this spectacular specimen shall sadly be past its prime. Oh, you come to deliver the decadent delight? I can say with confidence that any gourmand would be grateful for such a grand gift. Here is the pumpkin. I hope it meets the Roger's approval. Fresh produce is somewhat scarce in these parts, and as such, we are always deluged with demand. You know the way to the coffer and coffin, correct? It is beyond the bridge to the northwest. Look for a place where local laborers lounge. One thing to note, the next time I stream, this will be gone and pretty much most of my hair. Reason why I don't like beards usually, and I usually tend to keep short hair. Reason why I kept it this long for such a time is I wanted to get into the role of the character I was portraying. Sid in 11 has a bit longer hair than no hair, and he has a beard. No mustache, but a clean-shaven beard, which means I have to grow my beard. I want to try and look as authentic to the part as possible, and I did what I could. And in the evening, someone was nice enough to get out some hats, and I look like a farmer wearing a hat with this beard. But no, after this stream, I gotta take it off. I want to keep it on for you guys to see what it looked like with the apron, the gloves, Oh, Sid's hair was white, and while my hair is going that way, I did not say I need to dye it white for the convention. At least not yet. We'll see. As I get older, I might dye it a different color. Drink for you, Yassi. You better not get ale or spirits for the coin than meat. You won't get better ale or spirits for your coin than at meat place. Roger. Roger, Roger. What's that? We, the Soda, asked you to bring this pumpkin here to me? So even that foul-mouthed drunk knows the meaning of remorse. Reckon this is for the time I care to drink Sodanars back home. But hell's an honest to good pumpkin from the royal plantations. Can't wait to see what the cooks will do with her. The lads here scoffed down beastly amounts of meat, and it's starting to tell on their health. So it'll be good to get more vegetables in their bellies. As soon as I can get the stubborn bastards to try something new. Thanks for the help, lassie. Roger, Roger. Word is, Blackbreast Station sorely undermanned. The stone torches there can't get a moment's peace. Bloke by the name of Warren is hoping to bolster the numbers for a short-term assignment or two. If you fancy putting a few extra gil in your pocket, you could do a lot worse. Warren. Looking for work, perchance? If so, you couldn't have come at a better time. We stone torches or sell swords hired by Ameljan Son's mineral concern to protect its interests. Our primary duty here is to keep the tracks clear of pests, and it is for this purpose that we require your aid. I should point out, however, that it can be messy work, and liable to get misters, still if you're ill prepared. A single piece of gear can mean the difference between life and death. I'll not have on my conscience that I sent an ill-equipped adventurer to an untimely demise. See to it that your arms and armor are in order. When you're ready, present yourself to me again. Equip your head, body, hands, legs, and feet with gear of item level 5 or above before returning to Warren. Item level 5. Will 640 work? We'll see. We're about 635 higher than what you're looking for. Ready for the inspection? Good. Everything appears to be in order. I hope so. Yeah, that nod is guaranteed in this world. Fate is a fickle mistress, after all. At any rate, capable adventurers like you are far and few between. I will not have you throw your life away. I have had to bury too many comrades who brushed aside cracks in their hauberks and dents in their helms. No matter what you face, do not disregard the importance of gear. Let's get to it then, shall we? Ore wagons pass through this station every day, but not without incident. Wagons coming and going from the dispatch yard to the south must pass through a tunnel by Fesca's watch, a tunnel in which some genius saw fit to put an ore storehouse, creating ideal conditions for a goblin nest. So now the ore-loving beasts have taken up residence in the tunnel we dug, and we're practically delivering meals to their doorstep. But no more. Inside the tunnel in question, you'll find a narrow fissure where the goblins hide. Use this silver ore cluster to lure out the creatures and then slay them. Aye aye, Captain. Wait, I'm the captain. Chiro's on. There it is. Cluster ore. Silver Goblin. Oh no. Oh no. Oh yeah. Interesting note, when you get to level 90 without doing any of the Heavensward quests, you're missing some abilities, including the ability to heal yourself. I also can't use Atonement. Well done. It shan't be easy to keep the town of free goblins, but our wagons should be able to go unmolested for a time. Disruptions to ore shipments threaten not only the interests of Amaljan's sons, no concern, but of Ul'dah herself. One might liken these train tracks to veins that bear our nation's lifeblood. If only had more women like you to lend a hand. Ah, the altruistic adventurer. I was hoping to bump into each other. Why? Because the most fascinating piece of news certainly reached my ears, and I'm eager to share it. May I? Rumor has it there's a vast untapped vein of ore beneath the ruins of Sildi. But that is not all. Inconceivably, the concerners appear to be entirely ignorant of its existence. And even as we speak, a young upstart, a self-made merchant from Stonestow of all places, is moving to claim it. The fellow's name is Wystan, and he's a very, very ambitious young man. Not only does he intend to secure exclusive excavation rights, but they say his master plans to use it to buy fortune. To use his new fortune to curry favor with the Sacrarium. Of course, the Thermitage is only considered the opinion of the most wealthy when drafting the laws of Ul'dah. If you would have your voice heard, you must be prepared to pay a sultan's ransom. One voice which is invariably heard belongs to Lord Lodorito. He has long lavished gil upon the Thermitages, and some claim that he devises new laws with the express intention of ruining his competitors while protecting his own interests. Suffice it to say, if Wystan thinks he can compete with the likes of the Syndicate, he's in for a rude awakening. But that eventuality may be a little way off. For the present, he's moving ahead with his plans and assembling a team to survey the site. I'm told he's at the Coffin right now, recruiting able-bodied adventurers to escort his prospectors. Warren said you were looking for work. Mayhap you should meet Wystan and volunteer for his expedition. Let's go meet Wystan. Fine motorcycle, of course. I'm still a sprout. At level 90. I'm level 640. Hi, Wystan. Care to join? Sorry, but you're too late. Some brass blades looking for extra coin volunteers, and the team's already en route to the ruins. But look, I know it's not easy to find work these days. If you're interested, there's something else you can do for me. There's these children outside, little ones from Stonestow. I look after them when I have time to spare. That's why they've taken to follow me around, even when I tell them not to. But what with overseeing the search for the vein, I barely have a chance to visit the privy at the moment, much less entertain younglings. Can you give these ginger cookies to convince them to go home for me? I ain't going nowhere, missus. I'm too hungry to move. Besides, no one Besides, so you'll have to carry me. Right. A cookie? Well, if Wyson really wants us to go home, then alright. But I want 2 next time. I like playing with Wyson. He makes sure no one bullies us. Wyson's worried about us? Oh, I don't want to make him worried. I'm a good girl, so I'll go home. But Wyson always plays with us. Why won't he come out and play? Oh shoot. Whoops. Oh, a ginger cookie. I better save some for my brother. I know, I'll go home and eat it with him. Wyson's kind to us. I like him. This is for me? I want to eat it, but then again I don't, because then it'll be gone. Tell Wyson thanks and tell him I'm sorry for getting in the way. Thank you, adventurer. I only wish I could do more. Don't there was no such place for a child. Not that my childhood wasn't much happier. Never enough food to go around, nor work to earn it, but no shortage of contempt for the great and the good. I remember thinking things could only get better, but yet now, after the calamity and everything else, for us refugees to be forced to live outside the gates like bloody beastmen is a disgrace. They say with enough money you can change the laws here, so I'm going to make a fortune and do just that. I'll buy the excavation rights and start my own mining business. Then I'll give my fellow refugees the work they're crying out for, and pay them fairly. The mining companies have profited from our suffering for too long, and in their hubris, they've grown complacent, presenting us with a golden opportunity. And we will take it, adventurer. We will reclaim our dignity, and with it, our place within those walls. We found her! We found the blade, Wyson. You must come and see. Already? Amazing! We leave at once. You should join me, my friend. Come and bear witness to history in the making. Whoa. Ow. Proceed. Solid balls, son. A vein of ore in the middle of a ruined bloody city? God's damn idiot. What did you think was gonna happen? That you'd strike rich and get cozy with the order? With the massive Uldar looked on? No one crosses the syndicate. The syndicate? Ah, finally son Kin has it. But look at this. Not all your friends have deserted you. It seems, lucky boy. Now you don't have to die alone. Oh, more informed of creation, grant ye this simple stone of soul that it may wake to life. Who's that spouting gibberish? Show yourself. This ain't part of the plan. Bloody hell. Does Lord really don't mean to kill us too? Golem's dead. That the Vaughn could be vanquished. That woman is no ordinary adventurer. Huh? Damn, seems I've missed all the fun. I see you didn't need my help this time. Oh! I got a headache. I would compose a ballad in your honor, but I fear no words would do justice. The strong songstress of Ulda herself cannot rival your beauty. Oh, stop it. I've often heard it said that a blossom's beauty can move a man to love and long, but I never truly believed it until I met you two desert roses. I hear they attacked another caravan. I am business is suffering for it. Bloody Amalja. What stirred him up, do you reckon? Another raid. I dare wager what caravan was carrying crystals, much like the last. If they truly mean to summon a primal, we must act quickly. Are you coming, love? Are you coming, love? You wouldn't keep a girl waiting, would you? Perish the thought. So tell me, where in this marvelous city might you two lovely ladies be staying? At this rate, green will be. At this rate, green would soon be more precious than gold. The result of the uncommonly bad harvest, to be sure. We have you to thank for that. Thank for them, do we not? That would be Dalamud. I think that would have been patch 2.22. I think 2.22 is a little, yeah, 2.23. The sky's a little bit darker. There's airships in the sky, Guardian airships, so that would probably be 2.22. The reckoning, weakening of the etheric film would surely be linked to Dalamud's descent. Excuse me. And of course to the primals. A fine mess. But we must not lose hope. We saw know what to do. We need only trust in his judgment. Louis Swa was interesting. Truly a marvel of Charlene ingenuity. It's as if I could reach out and touch the ether. All tall. Time to focus. No more gallivanting like before. The signs are counting on you. Have faith. Just have faith. You can do this. This disturbance is recent. The Sultan tree? Your Papa Sean will know something of it. Looks like they gave you quite a thrashing. Can you walk? Infilia, it's me. I was too late. Our person of interest has already quit the scene. The general? Very well, I shall be there anon. My colleague went to great lengths to provide me with means to detect the theory disturbances, but every time I find one, you seem to be in the middle of it. I'm starting to wonder if it might not be simpler just to follow you around. Sadly, I have business elsewhere. Tread softly, my friend. The carefully laid trap you dismantled was clearly sanctioned by Lord Lotorito. I heard the blades mention him as they fled. Believe me when I tell you that he is not a man to be trifled with. The Sultana's energy and enemies grow bolder by the day, and I suspect they have the support of outside forces. Thank you. If you ain't come along, these bastards would surely have slaughtered us all. I will speak with you further, but it isn't safe for us to linger here. Find me at the coffin later. Till then, stay safe. I shall accompany Weinstein and his men. They need protection, and I need more information. But what are my manners? I have yet to properly introduce myself. Iron Thancred, humble scholar surveying the flow of ether in Clalin. It is an honor and a privilege to make your acquaintance. I hope next we meet it is under more auspicious circumstances. Farewell. Wait a moment. It occurs to me that we may have... Never mind. Fare thee well. We may have what? Spoken before? Like 5 years ago? Indeed we had. Oh! Grave robbers! Yeah, so ARR's main story is cut into 4 parts, as you've previously seen. I will go through it. If anything, to get my bearings straight as well. As well as a couple of things. I'll probably go through the Paladin line, just... I don't remember if you remember me or not. And... if anything, just to show it off. Well, bless you, my friend. You risked your life to save ours. Betrayed by my own gods. Gods, I was a fool to trust those men. Lodorito owns the gods' damn brass blades. I should have questioned their motives from the start. Even so, I could hardly have projected that the wealthiest man in Uldel would want me dead for the heinous crime of seeking to change the law. I'm just a merchant, for God's sake. That ruthless bastard. What of that monstrosity? Those are his own men. It beggars belief. Well, that's it. I'm finished. If I stay any longer, I'm as good as dead. My associates, my friends, gosh, even the children may not be safe if I don't disappear. And you, god damn it, if little Rita learns of your involvement, you'll be next. I'll speak with the others to make sure that your part in this stays secret. Beyond this, I don't know what to suggest. Maybe you should seek the counsel of Mistress Momedy. She's helped countless adventures in the past. Maybe she'll know what to do. Go quickly now, my friend. Lotharito spies may be watching. Oh, how's everyone's night doing tonight so far? You know, even though it's easier to teleport, there's something always awe-inspiring just walking out to a city with a who's outdoors looks like Will does here and just be amazed by it. It's kind of got a lot of people to actually fly. I can actually enjoy the artwork of the game through a different perspective, and also from a safer perspective. I just appreciate the art and the time it took to make a world such as this. From the artist who came with the concept to the animate the designers who placed into a virtual world to top down for the people that help make the environment come alive, from the monsters, the trees, people, etc. And they just keep expanding on that. And to be able to see it from a top-down perspective is just cool. Settle down, Clalin. You got nothing to worry about. No one seems to know that you were at the ruins. Whitestan, on the other hand, is now a pariah. I was welcome around here as a rabid wolf, poor bucka. Suffice to say, the boy risked the wrath of the wrong man. Lord Lotharito, chairman of the East Aldenal Trading Company, generous contributor to the Order of Nalthal, and member of the Syndicate. Didn't get where he is by leaving loose ends, that one. Which is why he ain't above killing his own men. Hell, even if those blades knew what was coming, it's not like they could refuse to do their benefactor's bidding. Don't let this color your view of Uldad, Clalin. It's true that there are some here who aren't afraid to crack a few skulls if it gets them what they want, but most of us are decent folk just trying to make ends meet. You know, a lot of people would call you a damn fool for risking your life to save a marked man. But I believe you did a good thing, and for that you have my respect. Listen, you've been through a lot lately. Why don't you rest a spell? I'll let the boys at the Hourglass sit you up at the room. My treat. Just have a word with Otopa Popota whenever you like staying. Ooh, and rooms now available again. And if you got your appetite for adventuring back, consider taking on a guild leave or two. We got a lot of requests from locals looking to hire adventurers for various jobs. It'd be a good way to earn yourself some extra gil. Hostess can tell you more about how the system works, so go and speak with him if you're interested. I am not yet. Ooh, recommendations. Look what the curl dragged in. Good to see you, Clalin. I'd ask what brings you, but I reckon we both know the answer to that already. Well, have I ever let you down before? Wait, don't answer that. So what happens, I know a fellow by the name of Dadnan who needs a hand. He's a merchant by trade, selling precious stones to those in Uldal, with the means to buy them. He's asked that I send any looking for work his way. You can find him over in Horizon, if you fancy. That's in Western Clalin, mind you. Just cross the bridge of North Scorpion Crossing and take the road and the road will take you there. Knowing the circles he deals in, might be able to have some talk of the royal family that'll interest you as well. And why not make use of a chocobo porter for the journey to Horizon, if you've the guild for it, that is. You find the chocobo stables just across the way from Night Quicksand. Find Mimigum and he'll set you straight. Well, off you go. Well, off you go then. Haven't got all day to be holding your bloody hand. Sorry, I would talk more and probably get more to the accent if my gut wasn't feeling the way it was. Not like that the last couple days. But let's talk to Mimigum. Hire porter to Horizon. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. I don't think I'll be doing any dungeons tonight, at least not story dungeons yet. I will get there soon enough. Clalin, I presume. I momently said to expect you, and so I have. Welcome to Horizon. This is a train settlement that sees goods in from the port of Vespery to the west, and trade we do. Near a day goes by that Horizon isn't busting with some manner of merchants and officials. They do keep us running about busy, they do. Even so, I wish I'd choke my legs in a place of my own. That's why I've asked Moby to send me any souls looking for work. 12 know there's plenty to be done around here. Speak to me again when you're ready to make yourselves of some use. It so happens I have a situation that must be resolved post haste, and I do mean post haste. I'm plump out of premium product, and my latest order has yet to arrive. If I keep my customers waiting any longer, this could irrevocably damage my reputation. What's worse, I paid my man in advance for his services. Despite his assurances that it would be a simple affair, I've heard nothing since he departed for Copperwell Mines days ago. Find drunken stag and give him this notice. I cannot afford any further delay. Alright. Mount time. What do you want? Hmm? Hmm? Detonant's product. You can send all the notices you like, but it won't change a thing. The concern has closed the mind due to some incident in the depths. It's a goddamn shame too. Lost a decent hull just over yonder during all the chaos. The product you heard Detonant go on about is a valuable gemstone known as raw nashasite. I managed to dig up a godly amount just before the mines were closed off, actually. Backed it up and hauled it good even. But then them 12 damn goblins came along. Not like any goblins I've seen before, and hungry only for the good rocks. You've had eyes on my gemstones, and I have no choice but to oblige. The Stone Torch had their hands full of vacuum in the mines, so they ignored the beast. Even now, they've only concerned with keeping people out. Please, friend, if we're on the face of goblins, would you bring me my nashasite? Speaking of mobs, big ones, small ones, when 1.0 originally was released, it would only you would see mobs, but they'd be tiny. Like the size they are now, think like maybe half or even 1/4 the size. They were tiny. This is always sad. How did you fare, friend? How did you fare, friend? Did you find the raw? Did you find the raw nashasite? An extremely rare variety of malachite that gets its name from its deep green color. The same color as the former Uldan Sultana, Nanasha ul Nasha's eyes. Nanasha. Beautiful, isn't it? Rarer than any stones and more expensive than most. They say the green is the same as the eyes of Nanasha ul Nusha, who once ruled as the Sultana. This should save that ending from his troubles, and if there's enough left, that's far less than what I found. I reckon those columns made a meal of the stuff. Bloody waste. Like a chance to make some money, right? Then I know just how I can repay you for your kindness. Swarms of sun midges have been harassing travelers around the road connecting Horizon to here. It's gotten so bad that the brass blades have started paying folks to keep the roads clear. If you find it hard to believe the swarms of tiny midgets can be so troublesome, you've never seen a chocobo driven into a frenzy by one. You've already seen some terrible accidents. Do your part and slay a few swarms. After that, let Fufulupa know. He'll reward you for your trouble, and maybe even offer you more work. Okay, I'll get all the side quests done, so it's just the main story I'm working on. Glass Eye. Greetings and salutations, adventurer. To what do I owe this? What? You sent how many swarms of sun midges? You have my sincerest thanks. The brass blades have been struggling to keep them in check. Your assistance is greatly appreciated. Will you be staying in Horizon long? If so, there's much and more you can do to help you here. Pray allow me to enlist your aid, brave adventurer. I would have you ascertain the whereabouts of a missive I sent to Lost Hope the other day. Captain Leofric is stationed there. Ever since he was transferred, we've exchanged letters, but never before has it taken this long to receive a reply. And so I fear that the courier may have met with some misfortune en route. She must have made it to Central Clalin, or the brass blade that patrol the roads between here and Scorpion's Crossing would have seen something. But if she made it as far as Blackbrush Station, she would have surely delivered the letter by now. Lost Hope was practically on its doorstep. I suggest you focus your search on the road to Blackbrush Station in Central Clalin. With luck, you'll find her quickly. Huh? A letter? Aye, I've got Fufulupa's missive right here. I won't be delivering any time soon, though. Got to tend to my bird's injured leg first. Even the most minor cuts can fester if ignored. Fufulupi sent you, yes? If this is a pressing matter, why don't you take it the rest of the way? Lost Hope's just past Blackbrush Station to the northeast. Look for the tents by the river. Just passing through, or we'll be staying a while. Fufulupa sent you all this way because of a late letter? The boy's still far too earnest. Despite my demotion, he still calls me captain. I suspect he has no idea what it means to be transferred to Lost Hope either. The brass blades don't give a Kirkin's arse about this settlement. No one in Old Dad does. All here have been forsaken, adventurer. The refugees, their protectors, and you will be too. You will be too if you sin associating with us. Thank you for your letter. Now, go. Now, for your own good, leave. I told you to get out of here. What, looking for a chance to do some good? I guess I can't force you to leave. Damn stubborn adventurers, the lot of you. Fine then, listen well. A band of outlaws have taken residence at the Quivering Mounts on the ridge to the south. Their leader has styled himself heir to Ilan Quiverin, the syndicate member who died in the calamity. The Baron and his cronies are naught but a pack of jackals. They prey on the people of Lost Hope, robbing them of what little they have. I myself cannot act without endangering the refugees, as you know my face, and will retaliate against Lost Hope. You, however, are not known to the bandits or their allies. If you wish to help us, then deal with the Baron. Tally-ho! Or lally-ho. No, I'll try to do this once a week, maybe a couple times a week, depending on how timing goes. Towards Christmas time, I may not be on during those times because it's Christmas time with my family. But after that, we'll be back on. And who knows? Maybe I'll stream a couple of events of myself and some that know. I know someone very dear to me has started playing 14 herself. And who knows, maybe we'll do something that way. They are very new to the game still, but seem to be liking it so far. Oh yeah, this is cool for 1.0 folks, and I don't mean to brag when I say this. If you have a chocobo for 1.0 and you play it, and you continue on, your chocobo becomes a little different. As you notice, this is they call a legacy chocobo. 5 years later, and a realm-shaking calamity were not enough to break the bonds between you and your loyal steed. A single whistle and he'll be at your side once again. Yeah. What's neat about this chocobo is... Here, I'll show you my main chocobo. The new chocobo they give you in the game. I changed this one's color. It's green. And I have the Dragoon barding on it. The Legacy Chocobo, though, had its own barding. And if you look at the tails, they have a shade. It's starting to go gray. As it's been years since the Calamity. And this is how the color starts as. And it does not change. So it comes with its own special palette swap, which is kind of cool. So is it done? Good. I hope the wretch died screaming. The wretch died before being able to say anything. What does a more proper place, some say. That may be true for the syndicate, but none of that wealth has trickled down to the small folk. To all the mummer's farce. One day I refused to play my part, and so was made to leave the stage. My time has passed. The brass blades of the roads must look to others for guidance. As you may have noticed, I am in no shape to leave Lost Hope right now. So in my stead, I'd like you to return the horizon and give this dagger back to the Fupulupa. Although it's an old ornamental dagger, it belongs to the brass blades of the rose. I should have given it to the boy before I came here. And this is where I teleport. Clalin, I received word from Captain Leofric the other day. Thank you for delivering the letter for me. But why do you have that? Why do you have the dagger? Only Captain of Brass Blades of the Roads is permitted to possess it. Captain Leofric says I have to have it. There must be some mistake. You can't possibly tell me that. No, of course not. I'm not worthy to wield it. Nevertheless, I shall respect the captain's wishes and take the dagger into safekeeping until he comes to reclaim it. Brass Blades of the Roads have need some of your assistance once more, Clalin. Thaumaturges of the ossuary are presently surveying the footfalls for ancient relics. As his wife with wild beasts, the Horizon Garrison has been charged with their security. But Captain Baldwin was sent only a handful of brass blades. Despite his assurances to the contrary, such a small unit cannot possibly be sufficient to protect our patrons. I would have you offer your assistance to my comrades. Pray travel to the footfalls and speak with Totoruna. Yeah, so it's quite a bit of story you need to go through, a smaller story before you get onto the main plot and dungeons and trials. It all comes in due time. I've seen an adventure coming to help. I ain't heard nothing from Captain Baldwin about this. He said trust the men only. Any road, we got this under control. And besides, this operation ain't got nothing to do with Vlupa. Boy's got a stick in his ass the size of a sabatender. Someone the captain told him to stay at Horizon. Hey, adventure, mind running a message to Crescent Cove for us? Captain Baldwin's planned some festivities for the Thermites, see? And he wants to treat to the finest food and drink. Nothing but the best for our distinguished guest, eh? Head west and south to the village and tell Raffi that he's to deliver a bounty of fresh fish to Horizon for the feast. Fresh fish. Bubble Bernie. Bubble. Trouble. Bubbly Bernie. For fresh prints for Captain Baldwin? Of course, we'll do our best, madame. Unfortunately, we've had a poor catch in recent days on account of the rough seas. More boats should be returning soon, but I cannot promise that the catch will please. But to our milady, the catcher will have his fish, I swear it. You are an adventurer, are you not? I know this is sudden, but I do have no one else to turn to. Last night, a gang of bandits from the Quivering Merits were in their cups, and overheard them discussing their plans. It seems they collected gemstones stolen from the Copperbell mine. Nashasite, I think I heard one say. They are to meet with their co-conspirators soon at the footfalls. What did you say? Illicit exchange and sour dealings and brass blades cannot abide such malfeasance. Forgive my eavesdropping claim, but I came to Crescent Cove merely to thank you in person. I never imagined I'd uncover a criminal conspiracy right under Horizon's gates. Must act quickly for to apprehend these thieves. I'll notice Captain Baldwin at once. No, wait, you mustn't. Oh, gods. You must offer before it's too late. Captain Baldwin himself is working with the bandits. Oh, no. I don't think I'll be able to get dungeons today, but the next time I do this, it will be dungeons for sure. Maybe I'll make it more fun for the dungeons too. I'll do roulette. Whatever it lands on, that's the job I'll go in as. Captain Baldwin, sir, I've discovered something shocking, something horrible. Someone's been stealing gemstones from comparable mines and... Wait, those gauntlets, those boots. Why, you're one of Quiveran's men, sir. That man is a thief and a scoundrel. And what of it? Aye, and what of it? This coin's good, and that's what counts. What? Captain Baldwin, how are you working with these men? It cannot be. I told you, Stan Horizon, Fufulupa. I told you, Stan Horizon, Fufulupa. If you hadn't, it didn't have to be like this. Do you get the Natricite? I get my gill, and none would be the wiser. But sir, what if your crimes are undiscovered? What if Lord Rito finds out? You goddamn fool, don't you see? I'm acting under the authority of Lord Lolorito himself. No, that can't be true. Why do you think people join the Brass Blades Fufulupa? Why do you think people join Fufulupa? To serve and protect. We're not the bloody flames here. We do this for the coin. You there, adventurer. Do you remember me? Well, I remember you. I am Sir Baron von Quiver the 4th Esquire. You killed my brother. Now I'm going to return the favor. Oh, really? Well, that settles it. It's clear in everyone's best interest that both of you die. That's enough, Baldwin. Your partner's dead and your plans are undone. You have no reason left to fight. Stay out of this, Leofric. I don't take orders from you. I may have spared your life before, but if you interfere, I will show you no mercy. And what mercy will you show, I wonder? You have done so much in another man's name. What are you blathering about? Every fisherman in Crescent Cove know about your meeting, you arrogant fool. Quiveran's men couldn't keep their mouths shut. Imagine Lord Lothary's surprise to learn that a rank-and-file brass blade was using his name to advance his personal agenda. He knows. 7 now. But I'm a captain. He wouldn't. I was a captain too, remember? And we both know what happened to me. Oh, fat boy, you've done the brass blades of the roads proud. Captain Neophyte, Captain Baldwin, he said that Lord Lodorito wouldn't waste his time on a small-scale smuggling operation. This is all Baldwin's doing. What else? What else did he say? That our brethren know better? That each and every one cares not for but coin? Ha! Mere excuses to justify his schemes. Aye, with no shortage of greedy sods. Some would probably sell their own mothers in slavery for the price were right. But there are men like you, Fufulupa, men good and true, whom the small folk respect. Which is why I gave you the dagger. The brass blades of the roads need a leader with honor. You're the most honorable man I know. Captain! Oh, thanks for your help, Clalin. The captain and I will escort Captain Baldwin back to Horizon. Pray visit me in town when you next return. If that's where the story leads me. Yep. No. Yes. interesting. 35 against a 12. I guess the 35 won. Who knew? Welcome back, Clalin. So much has happened. Captain Baldwin has been arrested and stripped of rank, which means that the Brass Blades of the Rose no longer has a captain. Until a new one is designated, I have been ordered to serve as acting captain of the Horizon Garrison. Though doubtless this is only a temporary assignment, I'll do my utmost to represent the Brethren and protect the people of Horizon. Thank you, Clalin, for the service to the Sultanate. You are a true hero. I salute the honored friend. As acting captain, I would be much obliged if you would grant me a personal request. In our efforts to ascertain the full extent of the former captain's corruption, we have been poring over his personal correspondence. Our search unearthed a sealed letter addressed to a man named Owain. He is one of the Sultan's Sword's elite. I think of no reason why he should have dealings with Baldwin. We know that the former captain was consorting with a coalition of criminals. Could be that Owain was too? The letter may well serve as evidence of the collusion. I do not dare tamper with it myself. But given the events of recent days, I know not whom to trust with this information until now. I have chosen you, Clalin. Pray bear this letter to Mistress Momody at the Quicksand and relate the circumstances of its discovery. Not only is she a staunch supporter of the Sultana, she is well acquainted with the Sultan's Sword. She will know how best to proceed. Eight Sins of Sesamo. I'm curious if I can get Clalin all the way to the end of Endwalker in time for Dawn Trail. That would be cool. There's a lot of story to do. A lot. And while being low 90 makes things a lot easier, it's still a lot of story to go through. But we'll get through it. This may be the last little bit of cutscene I'll do for tonight, which means next time I will be able to go a little bit further. Ah, Clalin, it's been too long. Data then tells me that you've been keeping busy in Horizon. I want you to know that I'm grateful for everything you've done for the people of Ul'dah. Even though you've seen the seedier side of our city, you've continued to help your fellow man. Believe me, the folk around here love you for it. What is it? Looks like you've got something to say. So that's what this is all about. Fufu was thinking Owain might have been in league with Baldwin. That this letter could be proof of something shady. Well, we needn't worry. Owain's as loyal as as loyal a Sultan Sworn as I've ever seen. Having the foggish what it says, but wait a minute. Wasn't Owain the one who? Oh hells, I've got a bad feeling about this. Listen, Clalin, I think I know what this is about, but I need you to swear to keep it quiet. If you'd rather wash your hands of this business, I won't hold it against you. But if you're determined to see it through to the bitter end, say the word and I'll explain. Can I count on your discretion, Clalin? If so, then listen closely. The outside world believes Ul'dah to be a sultanate ruled by Sultana Nanamu Ulnamo. Truth is, though, it's the 6 wealthiest citizens that holds the most sway. The Syndicate. Be that as it may, the Sultana still got the support of the people. But she might struggle to keep that even if a certain incident becomes public knowledge. Pains me to say, but her Grace's crown, the symbol of the royal dynasty, has been stolen. In Owain's a Sultan's one who was charged with guarding it that night. I bet anything this letter was written by the bastards who made off with the crown. It can't be coincidence that a man we know to have been fraternizing with thieves had a letter for Owain of all people. At this of all times. We need to take this to the man himself. Clalin, tell him Momody sent you and that it concerns the lost heirloom. Looks as though my fellow needs help. I want you to lend it to him. The future of our fair city may depend on it. Alright folks, as I mentioned I can only stream for about 3 hours today, and it's reaching that point. So what I'm going to be doing here at this time, I'm going to be signing out for the night. I will be continuing this tomorrow. I'd like to say tomorrow, but next time. Might be tomorrow. Tomorrow there'll be dungeons, the first few dungeons for Clalin, and continue on from there. It might take a couple weeks to get through the story. Hopefully not that long, but if it does, then I will continue with the story with Clalin. It's long past due that she goes forward with her questing. So for those that joined, thank you for joining. I know it's been a long time since I've streamed. Once again, I thank one more shout out to everyone that this past weekend from Alex Main, his supporters, the staff, volunteers from KubaCon, from all the new friends I've made, old friends that I've kept throughout the years. I thank you all for reading this weekend, for old friends for supporting, for being there, and I look forward to seeing what the future brings. Before I go, we are going to raid someone. I'm not sure who. We'll find that out. Who shall we raid today? Who is up right now? A lot of people paying 11. That's what we'll try to do. Let's see. What are they doing? Yeah, so we're gonna raid Penikumaru. So once again, for all those that joined, I thank you for joining us. You all have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Possibly tomorrow. I'll see what happens here. Stay safe. Catch you next time.
Yeah, that helped melt this IT down so fast. I'm back, you piece of shit snipper! Hey, look at that level up. 2 people leveling up at the same time. Love that. Love it. Welcome in, Capitain! Hello! Hi, Andy. Welcome in. Why did it shout me out? The fuck? Stream Elements, you're drunk, go home! Try it again! There it goes! Oh god, that's funny. Andy, welcome in. How was your stream? How was 14 tonight? That's funny. That's funny. Oh my gosh.